Well, hello everybody. It's Dr. Carmen Bryant. This is Gut Chronicles. How you guys doing? You doing all right? Thank you for joining me. Well, come on, let's do this. I know I've talked about this before. We're talking about reaction versus responses. I don't have a title for it yet, but by the time you watch the video, you know there'll be a title on there. But I want to talk about the reaction versus the responses, because many of you guys, you react versus responding. And the person that has control over you and your emotions is the person that's able to make you react. A reaction is like a knee-jerk reaction. You hit someone and they hit you back. It requires no thought. And a lot of you are triggered because that narcissist, you already know the narcissist says something, you're so accustomed to trying to defend yourself that you're quick to react. And what you don't realize, that in the moment of your reaction, you're giving out too much intel. You're giving out too much information. You're telling them your location. It's like playing Battleship. You're giving them your location, because a narcissist depends on the fuel that they're getting from the supply, the fuel that they're getting. And with that fuel is the reaction that you're giving them to make them feel empowered. And so if they know how to push your buttons, because they've been around you long enough. For most of you, you guys were in a relationship or situationship with them, or, parents, or your parents. They've gotten to know you enough to know how to make you react. And they know that you're short fuse. And many of you guys that have been in situations with these narcissists, you're short fuse because you're having to defend yourself. They're saying stuff and you're quick to pop off at the mouth, right? And furthermore, let me tell you about yourself, so this is what they're depending on. In their mind, they feel like they're in control. You are giving them evidence that they're in control, because no matter what, and sometimes they'll even play with you. Watch this, watch this, watch this. And they'll say something and you pop off and they laugh about it. I've seen that happen, where watch this. And they'll say something to the person on the telephone and the person just goes off and they'll start laughing like CC, because of the fact that they know that they have that, well, they think they have that power, and really they do. They have the power to make you react. The one thing that many things, but the thing that a narcissist cannot handle is when you take your time to respond. It's almost like a salesperson. They do that sales pitch and they try to hurry, because they are focusing on your emotions. You look good in that car. You'll be the envy. They actually tap into, like your pride. They tap into what it is that you want to hear. The car is going to make you look good. You don't have to worry about it. You're going to be the envy. They try to find those, that low self-esteem area. In other words, they try to find what it is that makes you move. And when you start paying attention without saying anything back, you start paying attention. They're watching your nonverbal communication. Same thing the narcissists do. And so they know that when I throw this pitch out, or I throw this worm out, or I throw this reel out, I'm fishing to see what will catch you. I'm fishing to see what it is that will cause you to react and pay attention. And that's the same thing that narcissist does. That's why when you slow it down, for many of you guys, I've told you guys, those of you that have done coaching with me or in therapy with me, I have said, take 48 to 72 hours to respond to a text message. You don't have to respond right away unless it's a 911, but you have to determine what is a 911, because that narcissist will make everything a 911. But it's better when they send you a text message, you're waiting for you to say something especially on a text message, so they can hold it against you, because a lot of times they have ulterior motives. They try to use these things against you in a courtroom. See, this is what she said, or this is what he said, because temporarily you reacted too quick and you didn't think it through. To slow yourself down to come up with a response is like, on Facebook, where you see those little, someone says something, that person just, text, and they send all sorts of stuff, and then they think about it, and then they delete, and then they're like, yes, or they're like, okay. But this is what you have to do, because as soon as they trigger you, your mind goes into overthinking. And in your mind, you're already saying what you want to say but you don't realize that you're being set up. It's a setup. That's what narcissists do. They set you up to say things, not just to say things, to catch you in that and lock you into what you just said, where you can't come back later on and say, well, I said that in the heat of the moment. If you have a good lawyer, they'll be able to do that for you. But, most of you guys are not filthy rich, where you can get a lawyer that's willing to take the time to see, that they're really going to work for you. And you have to be careful, because they try to lock you into your emotions. They lock you into your reaction, as opposed to you slowing down and responding. A narcissist, it's hard for some, not all, because you do have cerebral narcissists that know how to play the game, and they're very patient at playing the game. And to them, that's a thrill. That's a adrenaline boost to be able to slow down and play this game with you. The average narcissist hates to be slowed down, because it's almost like talking really, really fast, and you're talking really, really, really. But when you slow them down and you can hear every word they're saying, the enunciation, the pronunciation, the meaning behind what they're saying, they can't stand that, because of the fact that they're quick. They're just, true enough, word salad is more of a psychological thing that is connected to schizophrenia, and the word salad makes no sense. But then when we're talking about word salad, when we're dealing with a narcissist, the word salad is that play at words, where they're trying to confuse you. It's like that gaslighting, that word play, that word salad, where they're trying to confuse you. You finally picked up on what they're saying, and they switch it up where you're confused. It's complete, utter confusion. And that's when you start reacting to the things that they're doing. You're giving them your location. Too much intel. You say too much. You're letting them locate you. You're letting them know you still have feelings for them. You're letting them know there's still an open door, and there's still a possibility. That hope is the last thing to go. You're letting them know that you're still angry, and that they're able to trigger you. You're saying entirely too much. And a lot of times you're giving the blueprint. You're giving them the game plan. And furthermore, and that's why I did. Everything that you're saying, they need to have that information. Have you ever noticed that when you slow down? One thing that I noticed dealing with the narcissist that I dealt with is he's a very charismatic guy. People just love him. He's a fast talker. You'll talk, and all of a sudden, look, hey, you see this ponytail? After you get through talking, all of a sudden you got an afro, and he's wearing your ponytail. He's smooth. He quick. He fast. He quick on his feet. He quick, like a salesperson. You better watch yourself. He got your drawers on. You don't even know how he got your drawers on, and he ain't touch you. That's how quick narcissists are. But when you slow down, what happens is that you're gray rocking. You're not giving them any emotions. You're not giving location. And really, it gets to a point, it practice. You have to practice this kind of stuff to get the emotions out, to heal. And when it gets to the point you could care less, and remember, I always say they can lick a window. And most of you guys are like, what does it mean when you say they can lick a window? A narcissist does anything they possibly can do to get a reaction. Licking windows will cause you to do what? Ew. Whether it's a actual sound that you make or just a facial expression like ew, but they got a reaction from you. And it'll get to a point where as you process through your healing, they can lick a window and you'll look over there and just turn around and keep on talking, and it doesn't bother you. It has to get to a point where they don't bother you and you could care less. And they can pick up on the fact that you could care less. You could care less about that narcissist. They lick a window and it doesn't bother you. And so you have to get to that point, but it takes a while, especially when you love that person. And you don't have to be ashamed to say you love the person. The person that you love is just dysfunctional and disordered. You actually have the capacity to love somebody and to love someone deeply and to care about them. They don't have the capacity to do that. And for many people, they're embarrassed about the fact that they really love this person, because when you back up and you've been away, all of a sudden, they look like whoever it is that you think is sexy. They look good, but then when you back up and your eyes, the fog starts lifting and you look, and you squinting, and you finally put those glasses on, you can see that you were in love with Shrek, or you were in love with Donkey, and you're like, what the heck? I didn't know. Everyone else knew but you, because you were blinded. You were blinded. They put those blinders on you, or they put that veil across your face, and you finally are waking up. But the reaction part, you got to watch that. If you ever notice, when you slow them down and you stop reacting and you don't say very much and you listen, they tend to tell on themselves. Remember, they project. And if they can keep you on your feet, keep you fat. Well, they don't keep you on your feet. They keep you off your feet. It's like they swipe you from under your feet. That's what that reaction is. When you slow down and listen, they'll tell you everything that you want to know. Anything that you want to know about them, if you be quiet and you learn not to react. Stop acting off of impulse and listen. They'll tell you everything that you ever wanted to know. All you have to do is pay attention.